Anna, you need to get up. We need to check our stockings.
Oh yeah! Let's show everyone what we got. Wow!
Folks who fill their stockings.
With so many great treats.
Anna, what did you get in your stocking?
I got a white peach kitty dango mochi, and I got a Jaga choco potato chip white chocolate.
Whoa, that sounds good.
What did you get?
It looks like I got a tokibi cha tea and a yaki imo sweet potato cookie.
Yum!
I can't wait to try all these.
What a great way to spend the holidays.
But Anna, I think you're forgetting something in your stocking.
Oh my gosh, it looks like a plane to Japan.
That's right, there's a giveaway, and the winner of that giveaway will technically be given a pair of tickets to Japan.
Anyone who is subscribed to Folksy before December 31st will automatically be entered to win. If you would like to subscribe to Folksy, then check the code and the link below in the description for 10% off. Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are watching episode 15 of Death Note.
Yes.
We're already here.
We are at episode 15.
You know, I probably would have binged the whole thing in one night if we weren't doing videos on it, but I'm really glad I'm not. It makes it more like a significant part of my life, I feel like, waiting week to week.
I would say this anime compared to a lot that I've seen, has these episodes that feel very full and fleshed out, and it kind of feels nice to have them spaced out. I feel like if I was watching this from a week-to-week basis, I would be pretty happy about having to wait a week for something so filling, I guess, like a really good meal.
Yeah. So last episode, I think the big, thing that we left off with is Rem agreeing to kill L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it gonna happen? Why wouldn't it happen?
Would L really die within the episode 15 to next couple episode range when there's over 30 episodes? I don't know. He seems like he's a pretty integral part of the whole series and the whole plot.
Yeah, but they've done that to us. That they are throwing curveballs left and right, So I wouldn't I don't expect it to happen, but it would be crazy.
Yes.
I don't know what will stop it from happening, though. Is Light going to be like, oh, no, we are real friends. I'm not going to kill him.
I mean, that's my hope. My hope and my wish is that it's a genuine friendship bond that forms and Light doesn't want to kill L anymore. Obviously, that doesn't fit his goals as wanting to kind of rule this new world as a god and protect the weaker, the ones that are victimized, So it doesn't really fit.
Yeah. I was thinking, how could this be turned around? How could Light potentially try to team up with L because he realizes Misa's a greater risk or greater force to deal with?
And just try to get her out of the way?
Well, could he do that? Or could he even frame her as the real Kira? But at the end of the day, what's that going to do? Put her in jail? That's not going to do anything to her, really. If she still has a death note, if she still has Rem, kinda,
Well, then Rem would just show up to her in her prison cell and be like, who do you want me to kill? And she'd be like,
maybe.
Kill Light. I don't know.
I don't know, though. I don't know how... I don't want L to die, and I don't know how, of a solution in my head to figure out how he wouldn't die other than Light, for some reason that we don't know, saying no,
I'm just gonna hold on to that tiny second of, obviously, this is an animation. I can't fully read what the person's face is saying emotionally. So I'm just gonna hold on to my tiny little... hope and intuition and anything that face that Light was making at the end was not just surprised at Rem, but also kind of oh, shoot, really? This fast? This easy? Huh. Yeah. I don't know about this. So I'm going to hold on to that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's another rule that we're not thinking of that will come into play. Maybe there's something else.
It would really risk Rem's life, At the moment, Rem says it wouldn't. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know.
Maybe there's some big reveal. I think you said last episode or in our free time that what if he had a Shinigami kind of thing.
I know, I did say, what if a Shinigami comes down and is like, ooh, it'd be fun if I entered this, like, triangle mix and gave L a death note.
Yeah, and to Ryuk's twin brother, like... I'm not sure.
It would be so good if it was like a Ryuk twin brother thing. That would be amazing.
I am really nervous and excited, like, going forward.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I think Misa's really smart. I think she is probably either average or above average intelligence. Obviously, Elle and Light seem to be like super freaking geniuses. But, you know, like, she has done things, she has thought of things. She seems to maybe just be like a normal person who thought about things before acting, but also it can be kind of impulsive depending on her emotions and her desires. I hope she's not a liability. I hope she ends up proving herself for her sake to Light, so that he wants to have her around. It's like part of me is like really hoping he genuinely like has some affection for her and she can have a real boyfriend out of him, but I know that's not even possible. But for her, I'm hoping for it.
She's smart. I like her as a character. It's hard not to think of her as like some sort of liability, though. Yeah, she is definitely, in my opinion, smarter than an average person. But when we've been following Light this whole time, who is like formulated his plan to the exact like T.
Even thinking about all the possibilities of how it could go wrong or what could happen or what could someone else's next move be or the move after that.
Yeah, then that, you know, you have to worry. Misa obviously has been thinking of doing the same thing, but maybe not to the same extent that Light is. So I feel like she's definitely a liability.
And her desires get in the way. I mean, Light literally specifically said for her to not, you know, pop up around him all the time, and that he needed to kind of fake date other women. She needed to kind of stay away from him in order to protect both of them.
What's gonna happen if she shows up?
She just showed up at the end of the last episode.
No, what if she shows up to like one of the other dates with the other women?
I feel like there's no way if she gets whiffed that he's dating other girls at college, she's totally gonna enroll. Like, there's no way. And then she'll run into Elle if Elle, because think about last episode, and like it might have been the end of the episode before that Light brought up dating other women, so that's a reason Misa is not going to want him to be alone. And now Elle has brought up wanting, like, feeling like he's friends, and Light brought up, yeah, I miss seeing you at school. That means both of them have reason to come back to college or go to college with Light.
Yeah.
And then they'd be in the same room. And that is probably a terrifying thought for Light.
What do you think if, like, Misa interrupts, like, how she did last episode, and Light's on a date with a girl, and immediately kills her? Like, without even, like, thinking too much, just immediately...
I could see her doing that. I mean, she already threatened that she would do that.
It would definitely give Light, like, oh my god, okay.
She'd probably be like, oh, no, I'm not going to. He told me not to. Sees them kiss.
Yeah.
You know, like, writes angrily in her book.
And all she would need to do is see it, because of the Shinigami.
Honestly.
Gosh.
She knows the name.
Alright, I'm ready to get into it, yeah?
Okay. You're the first friend that I have ever had.
Rem, I want Light to love
The
me.
sequence of events there, them showing us, like...
Elle will die. That's all it took.
It's
See
making
how
me...
that emotion
right?
is suspicious to
It's
me?
making me feel like he's second-guessing it.
So when should I kill him?
I can kill him immediately. I should think this through before we do anything. I need tonight to decide how we're going to kill Elle, and I'll give you my answer tomorrow. Very well.
He doesn't want to show he's wavering to them, maybe?
You can't kill him
don't
until
know.
I give the order. No matter what, understood? Misa, I need you to give me your cell phone number.
About time! What took you so long? Give me yours too, okay?
I already told you I'm under surveillance by the police. Keep in mind, it's not difficult for them to bug even cell phones these days.
I'll just give you one of my phones. I ended up with 3 of them, because I use them for different things.
If we use yours, I think we'll be safe.
That's great! I can hear your voice every day and text you too.
Oh, no.
No, I'll keep this one turned off. Well, I think you should probably go home now, Misa.
Huh? But why? It's only 7 o'clock. The time for lovers is just beginning, you know. After that, the main event.
Misa. Wow.
Is he doing that to shut her up? Oh my god.
Listen, you have to go home now.
Spellbound.
When you're talking to Rem outside, be careful that no one's around to listen. Just whisper.
Oh gosh.
That kiss came out of nowhere.
It's very important that Misa.
He's just like closing the curtains.
I thought perhaps you were hesitating because he said he thinks of you as a friend.
That's what I was thinking.
Ryuga and Light Yagami appear to be friends, but El is Kira's enemy.
No, boo.
I just don't want to believe it 100%.
I know,
Ooh, the visual of it.
That's right. Ryuga revealed that he is El. If I have him die in an accident, chances are that less people will suspect I'm Kira. I can only speculate what will happen after he dies. Tomorrow will be El's, or at least Ryuga and Ryuzaki's, last day alive.
There has to be something weird that a Shinigami can't kill him or something.
I'm so excited we're seeing this visual finally.
No.
Hair.
From
Is
what?
that from the tape?
Mr. Yagami. If I die within the next few days, your son is Kira. Another hair.
What did you just say, Ryuzaki?
If anything happens to me, I've asked Watari to make himself available to you, so I'm counting on the team.
Ryuzaki.
Wow.
You said he was almost cleared, and now this?
I've never been in a situation like this. If Kira and the second Kira are working together right now, things are not looking good for me. Or maybe I still consider him a suspect only because we don't have anyone else. If I do happen to be killed soon, please assume that your son is Kira.
Now I'm scared for Elle's
No
life.
choice but to make a sneak attack.
What's a sneak attack?
This is all a wager now.
I wouldn't say that. I just know how to get by, that's all.
Who's gonna show up?
There you go.
Ah, hey, Light. I hope she's not upset.
Never mind that. Is it okay to be here?
But then I realized that as long as you're not Kira, I should be safe. The fact is, you're the only one on the outside who knows me as El. In the unlikely event that I die in the next few days, I've instructed your father and everyone at headquarters to assume that you are Kira.
Sneak attack!
Damn him.
You told me yourself that you missed having me around at school.
You did.
So
You
I
said that.
figured, why not come back for a little change of pace?
I have to admit, without you around, intelligent conversation is hard to come by. Is it still okay to kill him today? No. As soon as I make the decision to kill him, he suddenly appears. I guess he's trying to guarantee his safety. And the way things are, I'm playing right into his hands.
Hey, do you want to have some cake with me in the cafeteria?
I have a break now anyway.
That's perfect. I'm kind of craving shortcake right now.
Well,
He has a sweet tooth.
let's hope they have it.
Light, there you are.
No.
Thought I'd come by to see you.
Misa, you idiot!
You look so different, unique.
Wait,
This is
I've won. Misa will be able to see Ryuga's real name.
I'm Light's girlfriend, Misa Amane. Nice to meet
Oh my
Hideki
gosh.
Ryuga.
you. Hideki Ryu.
Yeah, he has the exact same first and last name as the famous idol.
It's different than the name I'm seeing.
Oh my god.
Deciding to come here today was a mistake.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What is
shoot.
happening?
Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
He noticed something? It makes no sense. If he
The hair was blonde that he was just
Yeah,
looking
there's
at?
no way-
Light. You're a lucky guy.
Huh?
I have been a huge fan of yours ever since the August issue of 18.
Elle's a fan.
Isn't that girl Misa Misa? You're right, it's her. Oh, she's so cute.
What is this?
No way! Somebody just touched my butt.
Taking advantage of this situation is unforgivable. I will find whoever is responsible for this.
What?
You're so funny.
What?
This is ridiculous.
Is Elle like really attracted to her?
It's time. Or were you planning to be late again?
No, I'm sorry, Yoshi. Miss you already.
What's Elle's Oh my god, I can't believe Elle is a fan.
Actually, could you go on ahead? I need to go use the restroom.
Oh, okay then. I'll see you there.
The same kind of thing happened with Naomi Misura. You know? The energy's the same.
It's over. I'm grateful that I was the one to
Oh
discover
my god.
so I could
Sure,
kill
something
him
bad's gonna happen.
myself.
No, please don't kill him. She's not picking up.
Touched her butt. Touched her butt.
Yes? Hello? Oh, is that you, Light? I guess someone must have dropped this phone in all of the commotion earlier on.
He took it. Bastard.
He played
Touched her
that so
butt.
well! He played it so well,
Oh
too!
my god.
That's Misa's cell phone you have. I can give it back to her.
No, I see. Sure, that makes sense.
Ryuga, he probably thinks he's pretty clever right now. But Misa has another phone he doesn't know about.
Oh my god, please don't tell me. He grabbed. Oh!
Actually, my cell phone.
What?
Yes? I'm not exactly sure how you'll take this, but regarding Misa Amane, there's something you should know. We've taken her into custody under suspicion of being the second Kira.
Holy shit.
This episode
Holy
is
shit.
amazing.
How?
We gathered physical evidence from the envelopes that were sent by the second Kira. They matched what we found in Misa's room. There would be a public uproar if it gets out that she's been
How did they-
apprehended as the second Kira.
How did they narrow it down to her?
Charged her
I was careless. The videos. I should have destroyed all the evidence before the police had a chance to go through it. He confronted things head on. This waiter was my...
Was my...
No. Not yet.
This is
The
amazing!
real battle is just beginning, Elle.
Oh my god.
He was like about to admit defeat almost and fall off the building.
Watari, has she said anything yet?
No, she hasn't spoken a word. Ryuzaki, what's the meaning of this? There seems to be enough evidence to convict her, but all the same.
Yes, there can be no mistake. Now we need a confession out of her. You're free to do whatever has to be done, okay? Just make her speak.
Very well.
Is there torture in this?
Light has now become our prime suspect, and I'm probably going to bring him in for interrogation as well.
Holy shit.
They gonna like poison her or something? Oh no, Rem.
Ryuzaki, Amane is talking.
Quickly, get me a visual and audio.
Finally, after 3 days of this, huh?
I can't take it anymore. Kill me. Kill me. Please just kill me.
Is she asking Rem to kill her?
Misa Amane, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Does this mean you admit to being the second Kira? Is this the reason you wish to die?
No, I don't know anything about the second Kira. Now hurry up and kill me. If you wanted to, you could kill me right now, couldn't you?
Misa, do you mean...
Yes, kill me.
It's a message to Rem.
I
Holy
can't
shit.
take it anymore. Kill me.
Why, Misa? Why do you want to die for him?
Fine. If you won't kill me.
Stop her! Watari, don't let her bite her tongue!
This is so fucking...
Is it possible that this behavior could be attributed to Kira controlling her actions before death?
What's the matter, Rem?
Light Yagami, Misa has refused my offer to help her escape.
Wow.
No doubt because she knows it would cause you trouble. When her suffering became more than she could bear, she started begging me to kill her. I could not possibly let it go on like that. I couldn't bring myself to do it. There was only one way to save her from her suffering.
Forfeiting ownership of the Death Note.
If Misa forfeits
She'll have no
ownership
memory
the
of
Death
it.
Note, all her memories memories related to it would disappear. The fact that you are Kira, all those memories would be gone. Your secret would be safe. When this is done, you'll forget everything about Shinigami and the Death Note. It's okay.
She'd rather die.
You love is Light Yagami. I promise those feelings will remain. So Misa, forfeit ownership of the Death Note and leave everything to Light Yagami. And so Misa is no longer the owner of the Death Note.
You did the right thing, Rem.
Light Yagami, I proposed this to Misa knowing it was exactly what you wanted and that it would serve your purposes. But I did so on one condition, and that is if you don't save Misa, I will kill you.
I understand. And I have a pretty good idea what Elle will do next. I have a plan.
There's...
This is goodbye, Ryuk.
What?
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 Is he forfeiting ownership of his death? No.
Back to the discussion. Okay, that was episode 15 of Death Note. Thoughts?
Okay, so right when I said, is he gonna offer up, like, forfeit his Death Note, I just thought to myself, if he comes up with an agreement with either Rem or Ryuk, that have him lose his memories for a short period of time, so if they do bring him in for an interrogation on, like, a polygraph test or something, it shows that he's not lying, that he doesn't know anything, and then there's a plan that in, like, a week, Ryuk or Rem or someone will come and present him a Death Note again.
Yeah.
That would be a great plan, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be. Do you think that would entail Misa also getting her Death Note back?
Possibly getting her Death Note back, but I don't know if Light would. I feel like Light would prefer to just maybe, like, have her around as a fake girlfriend, not knowing anything. Just to make Rem happy.
So I definitely think that Light is there's going to be some giving up his Death Note for a short period of time, just like you said. There has to be, right? Goodbye,
That's
Ryuk.
like what makes sense right this second. If they're about to bring him in for interrogation or something, that's what makes the most sense. And that would save Misa, wouldn't it? Him coming in and being like, they failed to convict him. And him, like, having that connection with Misa as her being second Kira.
Yeah.
And it seems neither of them are lying.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to release both of them.
What's Rem gonna do? Is, like, say she doesn't give her Death Note back to Misa. Is she gonna go back to the Shinigami realm with an extra Death Note? Is she gonna give another Death Note to Elle? Or Light? Like, I don't know, like, where she goes from here.
I feel like Rem will probably stay around just to watch over Misa directly in the world, especially if Misa still has because Rem needs to be there. Rem has promised that if Light ever does anything to Misa, like, even if it was probably in, like, 30 years or something, if Light was ever the cause of Misa's death, Rem would kill Light.
You're right.
So Rem is gonna stay. Rem is gonna stay, and he is going to watch over Misa.
Do you think...
I wonder if, you know how, like, there's movies and stuff about people who, like, wake up and they lose their memory every day when they wake up. What if, since Light knows he's about to possibly lose his memories, if that's the choice he makes, the deal he could have is that Rem obviously wants him to save Misa. Well, he's not really gonna have... Is he gonna have memory of Misa?
Yes.
Or just not about...
The Death Note.
I wonder if he's gonna make a little note for himself, like, this is the... Or, like, Misa is your girlfriend, save her, or something, or...
Well, he, like, from what Rem said to Misa, she said that Misa would have memory of Light Yagami, just not as Kira. She would still have the feelings towards Light Yagami, just not as Kira. So, I would only think that it would be, you know, the other way around, too. My question, though, is if you give up your Death Note, you lose all memory of it. if you gain that Death Note back, do you gain all the memories back, or does it start fresh? Would he have to write down everything that he's done before as almost like a confession, basically, just so he'll be able to reread it? Ryu could always fill him back in on the details.
If Ryuk wants to.
Yeah. So early on in the episode, Ryuk closed the curtains in the room, and I was like, it's interesting that they're showing this again, like the little things that they do that affect the real world, and then it got brought back up with the Rem. Yep, the hair. And if that just happens to coincide with Misa starting to talk more as an innocent person who has no memory of this, obviously
and it was around her
in
head. It's like a memory erase kind of
gesture.
Potentially,
yeah. I don't think that was it, though. I don't think she did that to erase her memory.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant like that could be interpreted. If you were thinking about supernatural happenings, like memories being erased, and you, right when the person started to talk and change their attitude, and something weird happened around their brain, that's probably where you would go if you were thinking about like supernatural happenings.
So help me here.
Okay.
How did they narrow it down from a police side of things to Misa? I understand that they had evidence. I understand that they had physical evidence. Was she booked for another crime? Does DNA work differently in this area of the world or in this world?
Like do they have DNA on all their citizens or something?
Yeah, beforehand? Or like on file. How were they able to match it with Misa so they could have already gone into her apartment?
It makes you wonder if they've already gone and found the friend.
Yeah.
That she said there was no way, because she's moved to so many different places and she mailed them from other places. What if they did find that friend and be like, who did you send those tapes with? And she was like, Misa. And then they went into Misa's apartment and, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how they would have immediately gone to it being Misa when this was kind of the first instance of us seeing evidence of someone on the task force or a police member seeing Misa and Light together. They never even when Misa jumped on him in the street, there wasn't we didn't see someone behind a pole kind of watching them.
Yeah, but it would make perfect sense if they had already if they had DNA evidence and they were able to match it up with Misa, which I don't know how, but if they were able to do that, then this would be checkmate for L, right? He knows that Misa is at least one of the Kiras and on his own time. And then while hanging out with Light, Misa just happens to show up. And then that could be part of his bewilderment and face. Oh my god, they're together. This even connects them more.
I bet that's the whole reason he knew who Misa was as a model and what cover of a magazine she was on.
I kind of hope that's the case, but I kind of
feeling like he had a crush on her. But I'm he did his research. He was convincing with a reason of knowing her because he already knew her because he looked her up.
That's what I'm thinking. Part of me's a little upset if that's the case too, though, because I like the idea of Elle being a simp for Misa.
I know, me too. I really did like that. Does it make you feel like you missed anything in the last episode or two that would give Elle the idea about Misa? Does it make you feel like you missed even a second of someone spying or them learning something or does it make you feel like we just didn't see it and maybe they did go talk to the friend she made the tapes with?
I definitely would not rule out the idea of me just missing something in the last few episodes.
Yeah, I'm it could have been a quick second thing that I just didn't take note of.
That being said, if that was the case, I don't think it would have been as heavy with the showing of physical evidence this episode. It was very clear multiple times this episode what physical evidence they found, what they were thinking of it.
The same tape and then hair.
Crumbs. I'm not sure.
Because I think, remember when we saw back to her with that friend, they were taping it and Misa was snacking and watching her do it kind of thing. So it kind of fit that narrative of the two people hanging out, eating snacks and taping up the tapes. But dang.
A lot happened.
What I said in the intro totally holds up still. That if these episodes feel so filling and so much happens, there's so much to read, obviously read because we don't like, because I'm like trying to get all the information. I read while I'm listening. I use subtitles even on English shows just because auditory processing.
Well, that's because it allows us to be able to discuss the show while it's happening and still retain all the information that's being given to us.
Yeah. But it holds up what I said about each of these episodes feeling super full, and like how I've seen a lot of shows where I'm like, if I had to wait a week for that episode, I would have been pissed when that episode came, because I would have been like, 20 seconds of nothing, you know, or like not really anything happens with the plot, or it's very filler, you know. But this show, none of these episodes are filler.
Each one's so well thought out and like crafted as an episode in its own. I was so surprised at how many different, like, I guess, back and forths there were in who was on top, who was getting an advantage this episode. We saw the visual from the intro of both of them standing alone, which culminated into Light falling. And like,
masterpiece.
I was getting so many conflicting feelings because I was like, it's almost like both of them can visually see this fake, like, you know, visual world metaphor of him falling down. And then Elle realizing somehow that Light hasn't given up yet, you know? Mm-hmm. It was so cool, though, because, like, we had just so many differing advantages throughout the episode.
Well, you know what? One thing that happens now, it is going to be harder to kill Elle now.
Because no knowledge of his name.
That and what Elle told Light, that if you kill me in the next couple days, I told them to all say that you're for sure Kira.
I think that Light came to the conclusion that he'd still do it.
Just make it like a complete looking accident.
I mean, like when he was on the bench talking to Light, and Light was, and he said, if I die in the next few days, everybody knows to accuse you. He was like, oh no, he would want me to do this. It'd be falling into his trap if I didn't kill him this way, you know? Mm. I'm wondering, okay, theory crazy time. If Light somehow obtains or is given Misa's death note, Rem, does he gain the Shinigami eyes? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
What happens with her lifespan now that she forfeited the death note?
You still don't go to heaven or hell, correct?
I don't remember when in terms of forfeiting. I feel like, okay, once you write in it and you actually use it, then you can't.
Correct.
But like I'm not sure if forfeiting changes that.
I wouldn't think so, because then on your deathbed you could just forfeit it.
Yeah, like right before you die, be like, I want to go to heaven. Okay, I don't want the death note anymore. Maybe it's like if someone's guilt is too much to bear from killing people, then they ask to forfeit it so they don't remember, and they can just live the rest of their human life feeling like they're just an ordinary person.
It's a really good question though, like what happens to her lifespan?
Yeah, like 'cause she was supposed to die,
but
now she has extra years, but then the Shinigami eyes shorten that, so like, does it do anything to her lifespan now?
So we're assuming that the Shinigami eyes are going to be taken away, right? Mm-hmm. If that's the case, then like the numbers game that we've been playing with her life might just, I guess, equal out to her dying a natural age. What?
She's not going to remember Elle's name.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't.
Right?
No, she might. She might.
If she consciously thought, oh, his name is this after, but I don't know if she would remember, since it was like a supernatural power that gave her his real name to begin with.
I assume she wouldn't, but I could see, I guess, how she could.
Because then that just gets rid of like Light will be back down, you know, back to the point of, I don't want the eyes for myself, and now I don't have a human kind of pawn that has the eyes.
Yeah.
That's just super, like, in a comedic for the plot way, that right when they find out Elle's name, then later in the episode, Misa's memories go away.
Like, part of me could imagine her walking up to him and being like, oh, hey, but then she also did refer to him as what, Ryuzaki?
Yeah.
But her lifespan thing, the way that she was given more years, then split that in half for the Shinigami eyes, she could be dying just a natural age now, you know?
Yeah. We don't actually know what the number was. It could
Yeah.
just have ended up actually being something that was like, I think they said it was still unnatural, but I'm not completely sure.
Before or after the Shinigami eyes, though?
I don't know.
Because if it was like 112 more years,
But if
and
I
then
think
split in
about a
half-
Shinigami, I'm like, he probably gave her lots of years, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, would it be like, maybe she lives a little over 100? I don't know.
Misa's
Maybe it's
gonna
way
be,
more
like,
than that.
a model for the rest of history.
Well, we actually brought up when we first were learning about it, does it mean you don't really age? Or does your aging slow way down over the course of that time period that your life was extended? So yeah, she could be forever the top model. Wow.
Goodbye, Ryuk.
Goodbye, Ryuk.
I was
Nice
like,
knowing ya.
at one point in this episode, like 5-6 minutes in, I think I convinced myself that Elle was gonna die this episode or next episode.
They were mirroring it with Naomi Misura.
Yeah.
Like, and how that death happened. And the music that was playing. And kind of the quick walk past. The, like, and then the walking away. And so I was really I was starting to feel it too. And I was getting nervous.
I felt it right when Elle told the police, like Mr. Yagami, Chief Yagami, that if he died, it was his son.
I could,
right
he
then.
could have died on that note, you know.
Yeah.
And then what? And then Chief Yagami's the one that, and then has to book his son. Ouch.
He'd do it.
He'd have to. I know he would hate it though, and I'm sure he'd have a lot of answering to do to the wife and his daughter,
A lot of
because
explaining.
they don't even know that the family was even subjected to any sort of surveillance.
I don't know what I don't know what Light and Misa's relationship is going to be after this. Is Misa going to fall out of love with him without the Kira influence? I don't know.
I think Rem is going to kind of make Light agree that in terms of saving her,
They should break
he
up.
also has to make her happy.
I was thinking that Rem would say, okay, you can't be with her anymore, so she can get as far away from the Death Note as possible. Your shenanigans, you know?
Huh. So I thought that Rem was going to try to force a relationship for the happiness
That
of
could be
Misa.
really funny.
So I thought Rem was going to make Light agree to keep, like, dating Misa, but without mention, as Light Yagami, and no mention of Kira.
Yeah. That could happen too.
Because, like, he knows that's what Misa wanted. Like,
Yeah.
Rem reminded Misa that your love, your emotions, they are probably still going to be there after your
For
memories
sure.
erased. So I think Rem wants to ensure Misa's happiness. And so I think Rem is going to make sure that Light doesn't break her heart.
I think that I agree with you, but if it was like if it was Misa's happiness or Misa's life, like she's been put in the situation that she was willing to kill herself here.
Yeah,
and
Rem doesn't want that.
Yeah, and I feel like I think it's fair to say that if Misa is next to Light for the next 20 years, her death or her life is more at risk than if she wasn't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. I don't know.
But it's kind of hard to argue with I feel like if Light broke up with Misa, she seems to be like very erratic kind of emotionally.
Oh yeah.
I think she would kind of freak out if he broke up with her, even with no memories of like anything with Kira or the Death Note. So I think Rem kind of knows like, hey, we need to keep her like happy or she is going to freak out about you not loving her or not wanting to be with her, and this is the safest option. Because she's willing to die for Light.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay. If Light says goodbye to Ryuk, he still has all memories of Rem.
No, because Rem said that Misa wouldn't be able to see Ryuk.
Darn. Did Misa touch Light's Death Note?
She touched a scrap of it.
Okay.
Do you remember he pulled out the scrap he keeps
That
in his
doesn't make any
wallet?
sense, right?
It's all Shinigami, all Death Note related things you lose memory of.
Yeah, but if you touch if a normal person touches somebody's death note, they're able to see a Shinigami, right?
Yeah, she'd have to retouch it.
Okay. So he would have to
He would
retouch
have to
hers?
retouch. Yeah, I'm sure if he forfeited his death note, he would then have to retouch both of the death notes.
Where is her death note?
I'm sure he put it somewhere. Remember, she handed it to him.
Yeah.
So he has it hidden somewhere.
So he can easily just retouch it.
So I'm sure he could like leave a note for himself that's like, in a week, open your bottom drawer and touch the books that are in there or something. I don't know.
What do you think your memory would be if you retouched Misa's death note and could see Rem but didn't retouch your own, like, and couldn't see Ryuk? Do you think it'd be selective or?
Well, we haven't decided if you regain your previous memories of when you had a death note. So that all depends on if the memories come back or if you just have to relearn things, like it's a whole new experience for you.
I'm so excited to see what happens next.
I know.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.